A Battle Built here with another video, getting some more Season 11 Go Battle League battles, these taking place in the Master League meta. Today we're going to be trying out a relatively new Mon, HISUIAN Arcanine, in the Master League meta because I was able to hatch a 15-15-14 HISUIAN Growlithe and thought to myself, why not? HISUIAN Arcanine comes well equipped with fast moves and charge moves, a moveset composed of Snarl as the main fast move that you want to run, and then a variety of charge moves that you can almost kind of get away with any option you choose. These four moves mainly being Rock Slide, Flamethrower, Wild Charge, or Crunch. So I got some arguments from my Twitch chat. We decided to settle on the charge moves of Rock Slide and Flamethrower for the beginning half of this video, and then we drop Flamethrower and we try out Crunch later on. We decided to pair HISUIAN Arcanine with Mewtwo and Dialga in the back, and we're going to see how it's going to perform. Now, the main reason why I went Rock Slide and Flamethrower to start is because those are the two stab moves for HISUIAN Arcanine, being the fire rock type that it is. And let's see if we're able to counter some ho-hos with Rock Slide and maybe catch some of the steel types slacking with Flamethrower. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's jump into these battles. Let's see how they end up performing. Now, Wild Charge was a move we decided not to go with because as much as it is the best non-stab move that has access to, we're not expecting to survive much against any water types just based on the pure fact that Arcanine's a fire rock. Getting into the first matchup, we have the most ideal scenario for HISUIAN Arcanine, that being the Ho-Ho matchup. Now, the Ho-Ho matchup is still tricky for it because Ho-Ho has access to Earthquake. We land a Rock Slide, doesn't even one-shot. Our opponent save swaps into Zacian. This is my first match with the team. I should have swapped immediately into Mewtwo, but I decided to throw a Rock Slide because I was slightly panicked. I'm not a battler that does much Master League, so took me a second to recognize what my proper play was there. Should have went into Mewtwo faster for sure. But thankfully, because of the Rock Slide, Side Strike will take out Zacian's remaining health, and we're able to get a shield from the Zacian. They're going for a charge move here. We're going to shield it. It's going to be the debuffing move of Close Combat. That would have taken out our Mewtwo's remaining health, and unfortunately, we allow a Snarl to sneak through. We should hopefully outpace, so they end up swapping out and into their Dialga, not back, because we have not seen the Dialga, and we have our own Dialga with the shield advantage to match them in this mirror matchup. So they're going to go for a charge move here. Should be Iron Head, that could be Draco, ends up being the Draco. We shield because of the fact that it's going to debuff their attack, and we're expecting them not to get to another charge move, but we worry a little bit at the last minute, and then we decide to catch on our Arcanine, and they are able to get to the move, that being an Iron Head, but because it's debuffed, and even though it's neutral damage, it barely does any damage to our HISUIAN Arcanine. We are expecting one of their mons to come back in. We want to throw a charge move at it no matter what, whether it's the Ho-Ho or the Zacian. It ends up being the Zacian. Rock Slide does not take out the remaining health, and it was a good catch on their part. If we would have known it was a Zacian coming in, we could have built up another Snarl, went for the Flamethrower, potentially taking it out. Either way, though, Dialga is going to clean this up and clutch the remainder of this match. Plus, the Ho-Ho had energy and was going to outpace us to another move, even if we did throw the proper Flamethrower at the Zacian. And as much as Rock Slide would have been nice against a Ho-Ho to land and actually have Arcanine popping off clutch in the match, unfortunately we had to leave the heavy lifting to the Dialga. Getting to the next matchup, we have HISUIAN Arcanine on a Dialga lead. Rock Slides are going to be resisted because of Dialga's steel typing, so we go for the Flamethrower to play this out and put the Dialga in Side Strike range. That was essentially our goal. We also wanted to see, for scientific purposes, how much a Flamethrower does, and it does a decent amount. Problem is, Flamethrower is just such an expensive move and really is not a great charge move in PvP. Hopefully one day, fingers crossed, it'll receive a buff that it deserves so we can have some better fire charge moves. We are able to come with our Mewtwo. We lose a shield, but we end up going for a farm down. They come with their own Mewtwo, and because they're playing the mirror with a shield advantage, we're worried that they're going to have Shadow Ball. We throw our first Side Strike. They're worried that we have Shadow Ball. We get a shield from them. We go for the second Side Strike. Probably should have faked another Shadow Ball a little bit better, but we were worried about the energy that they had. We then try to catch because we know at this point, since we're seeing Dialga Mewtwo, our Arcanine is not going to be doing us much good. So as you can see here, first couple matches, even though we're not playing all that terribly, Arcanine is essentially weighing us down as you'd expect with a Spicemon in Master League of that level. They then come in with the Zacian. We're building up the two Iron Heads, and we're hoping that we can get the both of these, take out the Zacian, and potentially win this match. Now, because of how poor Arcanine would have played out that Mewtwo matchup, and also with the pure fact that we are A weak to Giratina Origins, later on in this set and collection of battles, we have 6 total. We are going to, again, switch that moveset from Flamethrower to Crunch for the potential, debuff ability of the Crunch, and then landing super effective damage on the popular mons, of course, of Mewtwo and Giratina, like we've already mentioned. Getting to this next matchup, voila. One of the main motivations why we wanted to change movesets. We just have not done it yet. So we have HISUIAN Arcanine against the Giratina Origin here. They're going to go for a charge move. We should have called it. Ends up being the bait. Unfortunate, especially because Arcanine's so glassy, doesn't want to tank a Shadow Ball, so we should have known they'd go for the obvious bait to get our shield. We spam some Rock Slides. Either they don't know what our moveset is, or they're really worried about Crunch, so we at least get a shield there, which is not the worst case scenario. Rock Slide not doing a lot of damage. And also, one thing to note, this HISUIAN Arcanine is not completely maxed out, but pretty goddamn close. It's a 15, 15, 14, all the way up to level 49. I just fell 1 level's worth of XL short on fully maxing it, and honestly, in the matchups that I had, I don't think that extra power up is going to make all the difference. And then especially now when we have Dialga on a Melmetal. One other thing to note is we're running Flamethrower on our Mewtwo just so we can have a cheaper move. Oh wait, we have Focus Blast. I think I put on Flamethrower for the first couple to hit Steel types essentially, and then I thought to myself, you know what, Flamethrower is not really paying me any dividends and is not worth it. And then we switched to Focus Blast later on. I should go and review the tape, but I swear that I did try out Flamethrower for a bit, and then we settled to the most obvious moveset of Focus Blast on our Mewtwo, and we do not want to use an Elite TM, which is why we do not have Shadow Ball on it. But yes, quick little fix there. As you'll also see, we're going to lose this matchup. So they're going to get to an ominous win. They're going to take out Mewtwo's remaining health, and we don't have Crunch or a Prayer, and we're going to throw a Rock Slide and hope, but they also have 2 other mons in the back. So Arcanine, of course, holding us back on top of the pure fact that they boost. I don't remember, I got distracted with the Focus Blast. My apologies, with the Focus Blast move appearing. Hopefully, it's at least on one of these, or I'm going to look really crazy. But I swear I have Flamethrower on my Mewtwo for a little bit of these battles. Anyhow, getting into the 4th matchup, at this point, we have switched from Flamethrower to Crunch, and we're playing up against a Mewtwo, the mon that we were aiming to have Crunch, or the matchup that we wanted to have Crunch for. We throw a Crunch, we get a shield, which is always nice, and then we know because it's a Shadow Mewtwo, and based on our prior experience against Mewtwo's, this is going to be a painful matchup for us anyway, even with Crunch. So we swap out. We're watching my little Crunch name on my Arcanine's moveset do a little dance at the bottom of the screen, and then because we've swapped the Mewtwo, we end up getting aligned with a Lugia, which is just super not ideal. At this point, I would have liked to have had Flamethrower. Definitely would have preferred to have Shadow Ball here, which also begs the question, why not run Shadow Ball on your Mewtwo and Elite TM it? But I like the diversity of having both charge moves, well, having one Mewtwo with each charge move, and the problem is I do not have another hundo to make with Shadow Ball, and I like Focus Blast for all the Dialga matchups. So getting into this part, we're trying to spam up Crunches. Also, you'll notice how much that Arrow Blast did from the Lugia onto our Arcanine. I tried to tank that knowing it was Arrow Blast, trying to see that resisted damage, and for science, see how much damage it was going to do, and unfortunately does a bunch, because again, HISUIAN Arcanine, super glassy. As you can also see, it doesn't power up too much over the 3000 CP, which is not ideal in Masters when you're dealing with Mewtwo's and Dialgas well above 4500 CP. So they just Focus Blasted our Mewtwo because we caught the move. We caught the move for, for the funsies. It's not going to win us this match. We're going for an Iron Head bait. Actually, wait, does this win us this match? This might actually win us a match. Because then we bait the Iron Head. We go for the Draco Meteor. I forget how some of these matches go. This battle's for almost like a week ago. I should have gotten this video out a lot sooner, so that's on me. We land the Draco, and then we commit to the Dragon Breath down, and we do actually win this match because of that insane catch of Focus Blast from their Mewtwo onto our Mewtwo. So sorry for the terrible commentating there, as I get caught up with my own clips and things that probably should have been a little bit better prepared considering the context of this video. Getting to this next matchup, did they swap so that we can crunch their Mewtwo? They did. So then we want to play the mirror here because we don't want our Dialga to get Focus Blasted, but I probably should have just went into my own Dialga, assuming the fact that they probably have Shadow Ball, and they got to it so fast here, I end up having the double shield, so I'm not in a great spot. This is where, of course, me having my own Mewtwo with Shadow Ball would help, or just going into Dialga and playing out that matchup, potentially respecting a Shadow Ball that could have been a Focus Blast, and then winning the 2 shield or 1 shield advantage. So that was also a misplay on my part. And we end up using both our shields in a scenario where we're running HISUIAN Arcanine, and we really want to save shields for it. At least we're able to outpace, and I think they also got greedy, so that allowed us to still win that scenario, even though they probably should have been in another Shadow Ball. They might have been off on my energy. Either way, doesn't matter. It works out for the best for us here. We now have Mewtwo on a Ho-Ho matchup here. They're going to Brave Bird. We're going to want to come into our Arcanine, right? No, we come to our Dialga. See, A1 commentating. This is why I need to get back on top of me commentating daily, because I make too many simple mistakes and I should not be putting off clips to commentate over so far after the fact. Either way, you saw how that played out. We're able to spam and get to the Rock Slide beforehand. I think the thought process here was we'd be able to Dragon Breath them down because they were at like 0 energy essentially after Brave Birding, and they were hoping to Dragon Breath down before they could get to an Earthquake. And then we end up beating their Dialga with our Dialga, and our Arcanine still able to outpace and get to a Rock Slide to take out the Ho-Ho. Arcanine's one good Master League matchup, Ho-Ho. So if you really need a spicy Ho-Ho counter, that's your guy. Either way, HISUIAN Arcanine on Zacian lead is not a great lead scenario for the Arcanine. So we save swap into our Mewtwo. We build all the way up to the Focus Blast, just based on the pure fact that we're not getting the 2 charge moves here. Hoping for a boom. They shield. We're going to want to come into our Dialga because we have the shield advantage here, and we're going to want to commit to a Dragon Breath down or at least an over farm scenario. We could not come into our own Arcanine just because it's going to take so much damage from Dragon Breath. Super not ideal, of course, just based on the fact that it's so glassy. We also miscalculated the energy here, so we didn't expect them to get to the second Iron Head so fast. We wanted to throw at least another Iron Head before they got to their charge move, and because of that, we're just forced to completely farm down and leave with a bunch of energy. They come in with the Zacian. We're going to throw back-to-back Iron Heads, so this is going to hopefully work out for us. We're going to take out the Zacian, and then it comes down to, can the combination of our dead Dialga and our Arcanine beat their last Mon? It ends up being the Giratina Origin. We have Crunch the way we wanted specifically for this matchup. We throw the first one. You can see it does not do a lot of damage. We clearly need a debuff there. We don't get it. We're hoping the residual Snarl energy will be enough. The Shadow Ball lands on our Arcanine. It just barely holds on. We go for another Crunch. Will it be enough? No. We seriously could have used that nice 30% chance at a defense debuff from the Crunch there to clutch our match. Considering, you know, RNG gods, we're running Spice, do us a favor. It would have looked so good for the video if we could have won that one there. And Arcanine could have had its moment after all 6 of those battles where really it was just getting hard carried by the rest of the team. But yeah, that's HISUIAN Arcanine in Master League. If you get a hundo, max it for fun. It doesn't get high enough CP-wise, unfortunately. Its moveset's really not even all that bad. It's just super glassy. Maybe if Flamethrower was a better fire charge move, that could help it. But the problem is, like, the steel types in Master League, mainly being Melmetal or Excadrill, both can hit rock types for super effective. Excadrill can hit rock and fire, which is what its typing is for double super effective. So it really wouldn't have too much of a leg to stand on there, too. Either way. But I hope you enjoyed those battles. I apologize for some scratchy commentating. I promise. Gonna get on top of consistent videos, copium daily videos, hopium daily videos, and my commentating will improve as I get more and more practice, because that's just the way things work in life. Practice makes perfect. Either way, I hope you got some important, crucial information there. You could also see my battles were at the 2600 elo, so like about like average ranked elo players, so it's like they were competitive battles. But on that note, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.